Hi everybody, Andrea here. I'm here at the little pond on my property today, just walking around the property. Always a beautiful thing to do, especially when the weather's like this. So, questions. So another question that we get, kind of not poised this succinctly, I just did it this way to make the video a little bit easier to talk to you about, but what is self-awareness? How do you develop self-awareness? So if you're asking the question, you're already a few steps ahead. Plenty of people never even think about what is self-awareness. So that's why I say you're ahead if you're already thinking about it and asking the question. So self-awareness, there's levels of self-awareness. No matter what level you're at with being aware of self, being aware of yourself, there's always another level to go. So that's one thing. So this is not I'm going to get there, and then once I get there, I'll be done with self-awareness. I remember asking one of my mentors about this years ago. I was in my early 30s, and I said, when are we done? I feel like I've done so much work on myself. When am I done with all of this? And she just looked at me and she goes, never. I was like so disappointed. So there's levels, there's layers, there's new depths always for your self-awareness. This is what I recommend with regard to starting. And that is pick something that you're interested in discovering how self-aware, or if you're self-aware in that area. The best place to start, in my point of view, is with your body. Do I notice that I'm in my body? I know that probably sounds really weird to a bunch of you. Like, of course I'm in my body. Where else would I be? But a lot of people are not in their body. They are totally up somewhere in their head or somewhere up here thinking about things, analyzing things, or deliberately not doing either of those. So how do you get more present to your body? A practice that I learned years ago, and actually both my husband and I still use this because it brings us back to being present. So self-awareness, you could say, starts with presence. Are you present? Are you here? Are you focused on what's true and real right now? Or are you someplace else? And it's not that it's better to always be present. Sometimes you need to be thinking about the future. But it is also true that you could bring presence to thinking about the future. So how do you make sure that you're present and in your body? So this little practice that we learned a long time ago is very powerful. I recommend that you actually practice it every single day. And that is physical awareness. So you start by sensing into parts of your body. Sometimes people say, what do you mean by that? What is sensing in? So what that means is, or how you do it, is that you pick an area of your body to sense into, and then you put your attention in that area. So you think about it. So let's say you were going to start with your feet, and then you feel, without moving, but you feel your feet. Like, well, how do my feet feel to me right now? This might initially seem very strange. I promise you it'll get easier and easier the more you practice it. But how do my feet, are they hot? Are they cold? Do I have shoes on? Can I feel my socks? Are they cold? What do I notice about my feet? Can I feel every one of my toes? Can I feel the ball of my foot, even when I'm not deliberately touching it or moving my foot? Can I feel my ankles or my arch? So you bring your attention to that. You do this faster than how long it's taken me to tell you. And then you bring your attention up through your legs. Some of you might have experienced this in some meditations you do, or a nighttime going to sleep practice, or a relaxation practice, or with yoga if you do that. So then you bring your attention up your legs. Okay, let me feel my calves. Let me sense my knees, my thighs, my hips. Can you sense anything in the middle of your body, your gut area? What do you feel in your chest? What do you feel right up in your throat, right? What do you feel in your arms? Generally, I start with my fingers when I'm doing my arms and work my way up, but do it in whatever way feels comfortable and gives you the most opportunity to experience your body as presence. Your body's always here right now. Your head may not be, your emotions may not be, but your body can't really do much else in normal situations, in the lives that most of us live. Our bodies are always here right now, even if we're not paying attention to that. So go on, then check your jaw, your mouth, your nose, your ears, your eyes, your head. And you do this with intention, not while you're being distracted, maybe looking at your phone or listening to TV or something like that. Just give yourself 2 or 3 minutes to do this practice. Sensing, looking, listening to your body. What do you notice? What's there? Pay attention if you've got a little twinge or something that doesn't feel good or anything. Just notice. You don't have to do anything about it, or you can, but notice what's here right now with regard to your physicality. So that's the practice that I recommend for beginning self-awareness. And frankly, even if you are at a stage down the road because you've been practicing self-awareness for a long time, if you don't do something that has you become aware of your physical body, then I highly recommend that you bring this practice in and that you do it daily. A lot of people recommend doing it after you swing your legs off your bed and sit there for a moment before you get up, sensing into everything. Some people do it at night. Some people do it in the middle of the day to return themselves to being here and being now. So more to come on self-awareness later, but we'll start right there. Have a great day.